All right, our next speaker this evening, who is going to speak to us for 5 minutes, is a published author and a professional speaker who I met through a class that we both took together a couple of years ago called Roadmap to Unlimited Referrals, that's hosted by Denise Prahl, who owns a company called Whiteboard Learning. And so Amy and I got connected there. And to speak a little bit to that class, it was life-changing as a business owner because the people that we meet at networking events aren't necessarily the customers that we're trying to do business with. They are people that could walk out of a room a strong advocate for your brand as they go have conversations every day with their friends, with their coworkers, with colleagues, and people that they meet. And so it was an excellent class, and Amy and I have had an opportunity to do business with each other, so we were able to help her with some website help. She is also a published author with a book called Networking Beyond Bias that I saw your picture on Facebook the other day that you found it at the library. So everyone, let's give Amy Waninger a big hand as she comes up to the stage.
In the next second, your brain will process 11 million sensory inputs. Did you catch them? Probably not, because the thinking part of your brain can only handle about 40 bits of information per second. This begs the question, what happened to the other almost 11 million bits of data? Well, your brain does you a favor. It can't be everywhere at once, so it sorts this data out based on what it thinks is most important. Most of it goes into a category I like to call been there, done that. See, if you've seen it before, it's not that interesting to your brain. Your brain is interested in the unfamiliar, the potential threat, the category it might call, that might kill me. It's important that we understand this sorting algorithm because this sorting algorithm based on fear drives most of our decisions unless we intervene. So it begs the question, what determines the tipping point between been there, done that, and that might kill me? Well, the truth is it's the accumulation of all of the clues that you've been collecting over the course of your entire lives, sorted into stories that you tell yourselves about your experiences, your judgments, your values, and your own identities. See, before you were even born, your identity was being formed. People who didn't even know you yet were making decisions for you based on things that you had no control over. And as soon as you got into the world, you started processing information in ways that helped you make sense of the world and your place in it. Things started to get a little bit more complicated because then you start to learn about the values of your family, your community, the society at large, through a process called socialization. Socialization demands of us that we internalize the values of the people around us and follow the rules at all times. Basically, we have to prove to others that we fall in their been there, done that category. Now, you might have noticed as you grew up that not everybody shares your values or your identities, and you started to make judgments about them. And you might have recognized that they're making judgments about you too. Eventually, you'll start to choose your own experiences based on what reinforces your judgments about others, what aligns with your values, and what reinforces your identity. Over time, if you're not careful, you'll create a bubble of been there, done that people and experiences and ideas. And anytime you try to leave that bubble or somebody tries to squeeze into it, your brain will say, oh, that might kill me. And you'll go right back to the comfort of been there, done that. Now, I don't know how to tell you this. You don't get to be comfortable all the time. See, you're leaders. And leaders know that when we make decisions, it affects other people around us. So I want to give you a 3-step process to help you make decisions not based on fear, but based on intention. Step 1 is when you're in a new situation or you meet someone new, notice how you feel. If you start to feel nervous or anxious or tense, your brain might be telling your body, that might kill me, and preparing your body for fight or flight. Ask yourself in that moment, what stories am I telling myself? What experiences am I drawing on? What identities might I be protecting? Step 2 is to observe the people around you and how they're responding. What experiences do they have that I don't? What judgments might they be making about me? What identities might they be protecting? And step 3 is to press your pause button. Physically put your index finger on that little divot under your nose. It's a great reminder to think before you speak, so you can choose the best response in any situation. Now, I'll admit this process is difficult at first, and your brain might say, that might kill me, but you'll probably survive it. Notice your response, observe the responses of others, press your own pause button. This is the way you can create new patterns for your brain so you can say, been there, done that, to new experiences, new perspectives, and new ideas.